Hello, it's been about 4 months since my last spray painting video, and I've spent the last 4 months tidying up my spray painting area. It's taken that long. I haven't had a chance to do any new videos because of, well, look at the result, look at the tidiness. Everything's got its place, everything's nice and neat down there. We're watching Hoovy's garage as we're painting. It's good. Hello everyone and welcome to a long overdue spray paint video. This is the first one I'll have published on YouTube for around 4 months, which is pitiful really. I've been really busy doing paintings through my store over the last few months, particularly at Christmas time, and I've hardly painted a new painting for a long time. I'm just going to play the drums. I'm so excited to be back on YouTube, as you can see. I'm going to start this video with a planet in the top left hand corner, and this one is going to be a cityscape style painting. We're going to spray paint some bright colours and then black and blue over the top, and we're going to scrape away the top layer to reveal the brightly coloured buildings underneath. If you're a spray painting artist, you want to try this out for yourself, I'll link some of my other videos up in the cards. Some tutorials in there for how to spray paint planets properly. I'll talk you through all the steps that you can do, some of the common mistakes that people can make and how to avoid them. And I've also got other videos that will show you how to do cityscapes. If you want to start off with a smaller one, you can look at some of these videos and they will show you how to properly do a cityscape. Say properly is the way that just the way that I do it. Might not be the proper way, but it's up to you. There's various ways of doing it with stencils and stuff. I like to just scrape the buildings away and just go with the flow. And you'll see that coming later on in this video. So please sit back and relax and enjoy this one. And if you haven't already, take a wee second, subscribe, hit the like button, share this video, do all that YouTube stuff. And let's see if we can get my channel going a little bit here on YouTube, because I've got lots of videos that I'd like to keep doing. And if you think they're useful, leave a comment below. Thank you. Okay, that's a near disaster. Has struck. My black can has got to the end. It starts spraying everywhere, ruining the painting. So thankfully, I knew that was going to happen. So I ordered some more paint, some black and white. And see, for black and white, I usually just buy the cheapest brand I can find, because you use so much of it when you're spray painting. You go through it more than any other colour. And I usually just buy whatever I can from local hardware store, or in this case I've bought online at Wilco's. I just get a few cans of each, get some lacquer, and black and white, you need to have a good stock of that if you're doing a good load of paintings. So we'll start with a new can. It won't start splattering and spraying everywhere, and we'll rescue this one before we make a complete and utter mess by trying to eke out the last little bit of paint from the cans that I've got. So there we go. Pop! Good job, that came on time. We can keep going. Okay, now we're ready to start painting in the colours that you want to appear when you scrape away the shapes of your buildings. Normally what I'll do here is I'll spray on some nice bright colours. I'm going to do some yellows, pinks, reds and oranges for this one, and over the top of it you'll spray paint the colour of the sky or background or whatever it is, so it will usually be black or dark blue, mixture of the two in this case, and let this layer dry a little while before spraying the black or the blue over the top, and you'll find that when you scrape it away these colours will remain. If you don't let it dry you're going to scrape away and pretty much get a lot of white showing through for the colour of the paper. So it's up to you. If that's what you want, go for it. If it's not, let it dry a little while and the results will be a lot better. And as you can see, I've put my cover back on the planet here because I'm spraying so closely to it, and I'm going to spray in the sky around it as well. Sometimes you can use a stencil for your buildings to get the shapes. I mentioned that before. You can stick a stencil on top if you want to cut specific shapes, if you're trying to get it to look exactly like New York or Dubai or something like that. You can cut the shapes of the buildings to suit and spray on the colours like that in a stencil format, and then you can scrape them away when the stencil's still on. But this one we're going to go freehand, we're just going to go for it, and we're going to spray paint a city any way that I want to do it. Okay, now we're going to start doing the buildings, and I'm using a straight edge to do this. It's like a palette, big palette knife or a drywall knife or something like that. Anything with a hard straight edge will do though, and I've got various sizes of these, so this is just the kind of smaller one that I'll use for the bits underneath the planet. And when you're doing the building, don't just scrape across and come down, try and shape them like an actual building would be shaped. So put in some edges, put in some perspective, do them all at an angle. If you're doing towers, start with the top first, make the smallest bit appear, then work your way down. And I'm constantly cleaning this flat edge just with a rag or a bit of tissue paper or something, because it will drag the paint along as you're doing it. And sometimes you might have to spray clear coat on top of the black towards the end if it gets too dry. But don't flood it with clear coat, because all you're going to get is a big gunky clear mess. So just give it a little light coating and use as little as you need. Now my head's in the way for a lot of this, sorry about that. It's been a while since I've done a video. I've forgotten the video YouTube etiquette of keeping your head out of the way of something you want people to see, but you're going to see the end result, and you'll see all those colours that we sprayed on previously reappearing as if by magic. that's the first layer done. Now time to kind of sketch in some detail in the second layer, which are smaller buildings closer to you, and it'll just give this whole thing a bit of perspective. And I just completely random at times with this. Sometimes I've got an idea of a shape in mind, but with this one I just start scraping in some shapes, making some bridges, putting in some hills, putting some pointy buildings in there, making some roads. Just anything you want, and as long as the paint's still wet enough you can scrape away until you're happy. And with this one I'm just going to add in a big kind of bridge effect thing here, just to give it a bit more detail. But you can pretty much do whatever you want. Just don't scrape everything away, because then it's all going to be pure white. Time for the big straight edge, because I'm going to be painting in the sea, the lake, the river underneath the city. And this big straight edge just gives it a nice clean line right across the page. This one doesn't quite reach, it's really annoying, but it's almost the right size. And what you're doing here is just randomly spraying in whatever colours you want to appear as the base colours for the river. And you'll see it kind of leaves a line, and if you do it high enough, you'll get a slight reflection of some of the buildings coming down on top of the water, just so you can see there on the right hand side. There's a few little outlines of buildings that will remain. And once, don't worry, when you spray over them, we'll go over this with an edge of a piece of paper, left to right, and we'll give it a nice effect to make it more look like water. Okay, now we've put in the base colour. I'm going to grab a sheet of gloss paper, put the edge on top of it and just wiggle it left to right as we go down, and that will give more of a water effect on it rather than just leaving it flat. And you'll see some of those reflections there reappeared as I've been scraping the paint away on the top. Nice little effect, there you go, more of them at the top. And that just kind of blends it all in a little bit and just gives it a bit of texture to look at. What I like to do is I put the straight edge back on and I spray some white right at the top of the waterline to act like the reflection coming off the lights of the buildings, and if there's any reflections coming off the light of the planet, I'll add that in as well, just using pure white. Okay, now we're going to add some waves in, some little, not waves, just little kind of breaks in the water. Just spray some white on a bit of scrap paper, get another bit of scrap paper and tear it in a straight edge, and I'm just waving in some of the white lines to look as if the water's breaking up at certain bits. That just gives it a bit more detail to it, just breaks it up so it doesn't look so flat. And I'm putting some in at the water line here to reflect maybe the edge of the water and where it's meeting the land. Okay, so last finishing touch on this one, we're going to do big star shining its light rays onto the planet and onto the city, and I'll just spray that in with my straight edge, just rotating it round, and then spray in a bit of light there for where the star originates. And there we have it. I think that's us finished with this one. I think we'll call it done. That's it. So quite a few little effects in this one. I hope you've learned something from it. I hope you can try it out yourself. And you can try out doing a city painting, even a smaller scale than this. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one. This is SprayArtGuy signing out. Oh, I've forgotten one last thing. Normally I'll clear coat this completely, so I'm just adding in all the clear coat. You just give it a layer of clear, and that just seals it up, and it gives it a glossier finish. Particularly looks nice when you frame it, and it'll just keep the painting looking nice for longer. So just completely cover this with clear coat. And of course I'm still wearing my mask at this point, so that's why I narrate over the videos rather than talking during it, because I've got my mask on all the time when I'm spray painting. And I'm in a garage, but I've got all the doors open, so the ventilation is quite good. But I just couldn't talk and spray paint at the same time. So safety first and all that. It stinks of stuff, it really does smell, and it's not good for you at all. You're better off going to stick your head in the sand or something. That's healthier for you than smelling in this stuff. So keep your masks on, and that is this painting done now. That's it, finished. So thank you again for watching. Next video won't be 4 months, it'll be a week at the most. So this is SprayArtGuy for now, signing out.